welcome back. Let's begin the third chapter in history, that is kingship, caste and class. In this chapter, we are going to understand. Following are the objective of this module: to enrich the word vocabulary through keywords, to understand critical edition of the Mahabharata, to get familiar with the kingship and marriage, many rules and varied practices. Thereafter, to analyze the social differences within and beyond the framework of caste. Kula, which designate to the family. Janati is a larger network of kinfolk. Endogamy is a type of marriage within a unit. This could be kin caste or the group living in the same locality. Exogamy refers to the marriage outside the unit. Polyandry is the practice of women having several husbands. Patrilineal, which means tracing to the descents from father to son, then grandson and so on. Matrilineal is a pattern where the descent is traced through the mother. So as we know, the title of the chapter is Kingship, Caste and Class. So in this chapter we are going to study about the early society. So here this early society is again connected with the time period of 600 BCE to 600 CE. And the great source from which we understand about the kingship, caste and classes of the Indian society is our greatest epic or the dynamic epic, that is Mahabharata. So Mahabharata is the greatest epic from where we are going to understand how society was divided in the ancient time period in India, and which is the main source to understand about the chapter. Before that, our first topic is the critical edition of Mahabharata. So this critical edition of Mahabharata was written by one of the popular writer. He was V.S. Sutankar. So in the time period of 1919, V.S. Sutankar and his all team member went to the different part of the country and bought the collection of script of Mahabharata, which is written in different language. They compiled all the scripts together and went on with the different studies. Thereafter, they concluded that there are certain sutras or rules which people need to be followed. So basically all those combined together and framed into around 1300 pages. The new version of Mahabharata were written in about 1300 pages, and the entire work was completed. 47 years it took to complete. So the team member, they compiled together the new version of Mahabharata within 1300 pages, and it took a long research duration, that was around 47 years. And then it was being released in front of the public in the form of place value, so that people can believe totally upon what is exactly there in the ancient society. When all the common themes are combined together about the different scripts and the languages where Mahabharata's incidents were written, then a new edition was being formed with the help of V.S. Sutankar. So here, with the help of that, we are going to understand how early society was divided in ancient India. In previous chapter, children, we study about the rise of kings, farmers and lands, and that tells about the history, how settlement of the cities and towns took place, and the rise of kings and queens were expanding in our ancient time period. Now here in this chapter, we are going to understand about the social caste and the division of the society. So let's begin with the second topic. The critical edition of Mahabharata under the leadership of a noted Indian Sanskritist V.S. Sutankar and a team consist of dozens of scholars initiated the task of preparing a critical edition of Mahabharata. Its volumes were published in 1300 pages. The project took around 47 years to complete. From different parts of the country, Sanskrit version of the history or the story evident in the manuscripts were collected, believing that texts laid down in these texts were actually practiced, which were called as its face value. So our second topic is little broader, and the title is Kingship and Marriage. Thereafter is the rules and varied practices. So let us understand first of all what is the meaning of kingship. Kingship is actually the relation when it is established with a blood relation. So here we can define families are, as we know, the large network of people. So it is defined as relative. So relative means all the branch or the family people. In the way we can say, as in the technical term, it is called as kinfolk. So kinfolk means all the relatives are called kinfolk and they are binded with the blood bond, and we call them in the relations such as cousins, brother, sister, and so on. So in this way understood the kingship. Now to understand the concept of how marriage used to take place with different people and the relations, let us understand the kingship and marriage, many rules and varied practices. Finding about families. Families were usually the part of larger network of people defined as relatives, or to use more technical term we say kinfolk. While family ties often regarded a natural and based on blood relation. They are defined as many ways like brothers, sister or cousins. Historians also investigate and analyze attitude towards the family and kingship. They provided an insight into the people's thinking. Let us see rule towards marriage. Women had no claim to the resources of the household. Gifts shared during the marriage is only the property received by girls from their parents. Girls had to follow exogamy system of marriage. Also, after marriage, girl had to adopt the gotra of her husband. Out of 8 forms of marriage, first 4 forms were considered as good and pure. So to understand the marriage system in ancient society, after taking the example of Mahabharata time period, we come to know that Brahmins, they have prescribed in their Dharma Sutras and Dharma Shastra that there are 8 forms of marriages, which we come to know from one of the very popular script, that is Manusmriti. So here we can describe that according to Manusmriti, there are 8 forms of marriages, and out of that 4 forms are very pure, and some of the 4 forms which is described in your NCERT books are: number 1, endogamy, where within the same community people can marry; then exogamy, out from the community; polygamy, having several wives; and polyandry. Where a wife has many husbands. So let us see more detail about this in slides. So on the same second topic, let us know in the early society what were the other practices. As we know, in society, when we see the time period of Mahabharata, we find the society there has certain rules to follow. How property or the gain of heritage property is being followed towards the other family branches. So here they used to follow basically 2 patterns. One is patrilineal, another is matrilineal. So these were the 2 popular patterns where society used to follow the division of their property. According to patrilineal, the descendants used to remain, means the property holder used to remain after father's death will be son, and then thereafter son's death will be grandson, and so on. So that pattern is called as patrilineal, and these all we understood from the great source, that is Mahabharata, because during the time period of Mahabharata war, we know this story is all about the fighting for the property or the land between the Kauravas and Pandava, and finally Pandava win and Kauravas get defeated. So in this way, we come to know with the help of Mahabharata that people in the early society, they used to follow two types of property sharing. These were the patrilineal and matrilineal. So here matrilineal means the descents will be followed from the property of mother. Mother, then daughter, then granddaughter, so on. So that two pattern is being described in the early society. The idyll of patrilineal, Mahabharata described a feud over land and power between two groups of cousins, Kauravas and Pandavas, who belonged to a single ruling family, that of Kurus. A lineage dominating one of the Janpada. At the end, the Pandava emerged victorious. After that, patrilineal succession was proclaimed, while patrilineal had existed prior to the composition of the epic. The central story of Mahabharata reinforced the idea it was valuable. Under patrilineal, son could claim the resources, including Thorn, in the case of king, of their father when they later died. Now the last subtopic of this module is, were mothers important? So this is a question that what was the role of mother in the ancient society, or what were their importance in the family and in their life. So we find from again the great epic of Mahabharata that one of the incidents when Mahabharata war was taking place, before war only, many times Gandhari, she reminded Yudhishthira not to fight this war, but he did not listen, and then he continued with the war, and the result was that he lost his life. So in this way we consider that mother's opinion plays very important role since from the ancient time period. Since from ancient time period we have noticed that children, they never finalize their any conclusion, or they do not conclude anything finally unless and until they discuss the opinion of their mother. So in this way we find in ancient society the role of mother or woman was very important. Now let's talk about the third topic, which is very interesting, that is social differences within and beyond the framework of caste. As we know, according to the Dharma Shastra and Dharma Sutra, the society was divided into four categories by the Brahmins. These were, the top one were the Brahmins, and then Kshatriyas, thereafter Shudras and Vaishyas. Here their work is also being categorized on the basis of these. Brahman, they talently and skillfully they divided the work of people so that there can be maintained a difference in the society. So they find that on the basis of their skill and work, society can be divided. For example, the taking care of reading of Shastras as well as Vedas will be done by the Brahmins, whereas the safety of the people or the protection of the community, this task will be done by the warriors, that will be the Kshatriyas. Thereafter, the work like trading and farming will be done by Vaishyas, and Shudras will do all the work which is left by the other three caste people. Now here in this way we understood how society was differentiated on the basis of their working skill. Ancient Indians were divided into social classes. How this division reflects their attitude, deeds and responsibilities towards the society, let us see with the help of this short video. Every civilization which rised up had certain sections of society where they need to perform certain roles, responsibilities and have to enjoy certain privileges. For example, the most ancient civilizations are ruled by kings and governed by local bodies like nobles. Farmers and laborers were made most of the population. In some cases, lower classes were the slaves. Let us see how they were divided into social classes. The Aryans brought the caste system to the ancient Indians. Each group had social varnas and social classes in India. Let's see the role of each varnas in order from the most and the least significant in the society. The Brahmins, they were the top social class. Priests, scholars, and later teachers were the part of this group. Their work was to teach and learn Vedas. Next were the Kshatriyas. All the middle upper class who were kings, nobles, and warriors were the part of this society. Their work was to protect people. Then comes Vaishyas. Vaishyas were the middle class, consist of traders, businessmen, or farmers. The last class and the lower one were the Shudras. They were the servants and unskilled farmers considered to be the inferior to the other caste. Lastly, and the bottom were the Dalits, the untouchables, who were laborers and workers and considered to be the most impure and slaves. And they were forced to live outside of the village. Now, according to Dharma Shastra, it is said that only Kshatriyas can become king. But we get many evidence in the history where non-Kshatriyas also proved and proclaimed themselves as a king. For best example, we find the rulers like Shakas, which came from the Central East Asia. They established wonderful administrative system in India. Thereafter, we find Gautamiputra Satakarni. He was a Brahman and he also proclaimed himself as a equivalent to Kshatriya. Thereafter, Satvahana rulers were also another example which sets from the non-Kshatriya community. So that's all in this module, dear children. Remaining topic we are going to cover in the upcoming module of this session. Till then, stay connected, stay happy. Now it's time to do some questionnaire. First question is, under whose leadership the critical edition of Mahabharata written? V.S. Sudhashankaran, V.S. Suktankar, V.S. Madhu Suktankar, or none of these. Next question is, Duryodhana and his brothers were known as Kauravas, Pandavas, Malchis, or Nishada. Third question is, according to Shastra, only dash could rule the country: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, or Shudras. Answer all these questions in comment. Thank you for watching.